What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoFi. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what the hell is happening, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So there's about 5 minutes left in the trading day. It is down at 2.87%. And for whatever reason, it does show that some large entity is selling, or either maybe the Jim Cramer effect for the first time ever is correct. But the only news that did come out associated to SoFi today was them scheduling their Q2 earnings, which is slated for July the 30th, as once again, very early, 7 a.m. Eastern. But other than that, there's been absolutely nothing, no SEC filings, as you can kind of see. So it's just been piggybacking off of the broader market, minding its own business, although it was lagging a little bit. But this is completely just absolutely crazy if you ask me, but it does show that some entity is selling because you can kind of tell right here, these are all the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market above $100,000. And all of these bids right here are sells. And you can kind of see the timing of it. It started at 2:14 and concluded around 2:23, but that is what kickstarted this right here. So I don't know who or why, but some large entity is selling out of SoFi. And there's been no new analyst ratings. The last one was done 5 days ago. Jefferies, John, who has a 60% success rating. But even based on the ownership for SoFi, we'll just have to wait and see for the latest round of 13Fs what they do truly say. But some entity is selling out for whatever reason. So let me know your thoughts on that. On a side note as well, I've double checked to see about any kind of articles to see if maybe someone talked about it in some capacity to really justify this downtrend, or if truly Jim Cramer was right about SoFi. But as of right now, there's been absolutely no news to kind of justify this downtrend. And even when it comes down to shorts, I will give you a quick overview of that, just refresh that. And while that does refresh or does its thing, I'll go over options. So 2.32 million in calls, 1.07 million in puts. Sentiment wise though, 48% of all the options being done today are bearish. And of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a consensus for it to be above 7 or around that 650. So once again, you kind of have that kind of rinse and repeat cycle, shorts just hedging. Even looking at the open interest right now for July the 5th expiry date, 9,000 in open interest at 650, 14,000 at 7, and then 13,000 at 750. So I feel like this downtrend had no correlation with shorts whatsoever, because they would be doubling down on their hedging. So this 650 strike price would be significantly higher than what it was. So legitimately, there was some large entity selling out of SoFi. Why? Could be anyone's guess. Even right now, you can see shorts aren't doing anything today, so they're increasing 21,000 shares, which is a drop in the bucket. 18.45% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 191.57 million shares. Cost to borrow average is a little bit higher than Friday, so the last trading day, and 1.03% for that. Utilization 71.35%. So yeah, today is, as usual, another very interesting day. Very disappointing, the fact that their Q2 earnings are announced and then this sell-off does happen. It honestly feels like some entity out there, or just the greater forces that are Wall Street, just hate SoFi and want to see it just absolutely get punished. And so that's, I think, the norm when it comes down to SoFi. And hopefully institutions start to buy the hell out of SoFi and actually cause it to go up and not just get manipulated down time and time again. But moving on from here, looking at some of the strong support and resistance points, with it at $6.43, and actually the market just closed, but with it at $6.43, it is trading between this S1 and the pivot. So $6.52 is that next strong resistance slash target, and then $6.39 is going to be that next strong support. It did have that high, or bounced off of this R1, so $6.66, so the high was $6.67. Sometimes that could be one of those attributing factors. Whenever a stock bounces off of a very strong support or resistance, kind of goes in the opposite direction. So maybe that could have been what caused this a little bit. Again, that happened first thing, and most likely that buying was attributed to market makers covering those open interest. at that 650 strike price, because obviously it did close above 650 last Friday. So that's kind of a positive thing, but still, this is some interesting stuff, especially going into the next couple of trading days to see if it's justified. Powell's going to be talking tomorrow, so maybe some larger entity is privy to some information that the rest of us are not. But on the actual chart itself, lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. Stochastic, you do see it at 27, so somewhat neutral for that. No defined trend. A number of retail investors were getting out today. So yeah, today is another fun, regular day with SoFi, extreme volatility. So give yourself a shout out. Did you buy? Did you sell? What did you do? Happy Canada Day to all the Canadians out there. Hopefully everyone had a good long weekend, or a good weekend for the Americans. Happy early 4th of July and all the other fun jazz. With all that, I appreciate all of you watching though.